Hello, welcome to Plant-Based Large Family and the mid-July update. We're still pulling up weeds where we didn't put mulch, so that's a lesson to you. Once your mulch gets thin, replace it if you can. Now we ran out of mulch, that's why we didn't replace it here, but because of that, we just have extra chores to do, which is kind of a pain, but at least it's only a small section. Still getting tomatoes. Blueberry season is done. Raspberry season is just about done. Well, the spring season is just about done. One thing that we found interesting is we have some raspberries that have volunteered in and amongst the blueberries, and those have done better than the ones in our actual patch. And so I don't know if it's because, so all the big raspberries you've seen in our harvest, those are from the ones that are in the blueberry bush. I don't know if it's the shade. My guess is either it's because they're shaded and so they're able to get bigger and not be sunburned, or, ooh, I see lots of raspberries in there. We'll have to go in there. Let me go in there. Or if it's because these are so crowded and they're not producing as big as ones, and they're also, well, they're definitely more sunburned. You can see all these are sunburned, and the ones in the blueberry bushes are not sunburned, which that's obviously from shade. I've been talking about wanting to build some sort of shade structure for these. But then I also wonder if they produced bigger ones because they were less crowded out by other plants, But anyway, we're still harvesting some. Pretty sure these are still the summer ones because the fall raspberries are really small still. But we have plenty of those that are coming up. We've been having these worms defoliate our blueberry bushes. It happens every couple years. And what's weird about them is we've already picked them all off, but you can see the defoliation. You see how the leaves are gone. So I can't show you what they look like, but what's odd is, then I throw them to the chickens, and the chickens don't want them. It's almost, the chickens don't eat tent worms either, but these aren't tent worms. They don't make a tent. So I don't know if y'all know what kind of worms those are that defoliate blueberry bushes, but I've never seen them on anything else. So here is an example of a raspberry cane growing up in and amongst the blueberry plant. There's the blueberry plant and the raspberry cane. And you see how plump they are, how huge they are, and I don't mind that they're growing up here, because, I don't have to build a trellis. It's just kind of self-supported, but I wish I knew what made them so huge and good looking so that I could duplicate this result elsewhere. We harvested some of our itty-bitty cabbage that grew in there. It's itty-bitty, but I'm thankful because what else was in there was broccoli, and it got so hot so fast, the broccoli just bolted. The cabbage just produced quickly, so I'll take that over bolting any day. So we harvested some carrots as well, and we made some yummy coleslaw this week. We're still harvesting strawberries. I finished up getting all the beans off of the bean plants and started de-eating them to see if they'll come back. Those I didn't think would. There were only like 3 plants that looked good, so I went ahead and pulled most of those. And I'll probably pull those again. And I'm in the process of making carrot seed tape, beet seed tape, lettuce, and spinach for kind of a late summer harvest, or late summer, early fall harvest. And so I think I'll plant some there this upcoming week. The sweet potato beds are filling in nicely. I don't know if you remember, but last year I talked about planting carrots and how when I covered them they came up, and when I didn't cover them they came up but then something ate them. Well, I planted lettuce here, and as you can see it's just mulch right now. Well, the lettuce did come up and something ate them, so I think I'm going to have to just kind of cover all of my little seeds that I'm planting this fall, or this, for the late summer, fall. But I did plant cucumber. That's a cucumber seedling. And I planted some beans, and they're coming up nicely. Nope, I see a zucchini. Go. So, still harvesting zucchini. Plants are looking weathered, but it's fine. I have some coming up behind them. The watermelon are looking huge, but I always harvest watermelon too early. So I'm really trying to just leave them alone and see what happens. The potatoes. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the potatoes, because I am basically full term in my pregnancy, and I don't really want to / don't know how I'm going to be able to squat or sit or lean over for that long to harvest all those potatoes. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. At some point I'll need to get these dug up. And then I'll show you a clip from the outside of the fence. I noticed as I was driving away the other day that we're getting new stalks already. Last year we got some in August, but we're already getting some, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pull those. The joys of forgetting to harvest your asparagus in the spring. Get to harvest it in the summer and in the fall. So this one is already too tall, but this one's not bad. I can go ahead and pull this one. And then, I don't know if you can see this tiny one. That I may not pull that, it's a little thin, but I may just wait a day or so. But this one is tall, but not too, it hasn't gone too long, so we'll eat that. And then here's another one. I don't know if you can see it. And let's see here. I don't see any others in there. That's pretty cool. I'm used to April harvests of asparagus, and now I get mid-July harvests. We're still harvesting eggplant, and still harvesting peppers. I don't know if you know how we can't get our peppers to ripen on the vine, on the plant. They start to turn, and then start to turn red or yellow or orange, whatever color they're supposed to turn, and then they just start rotting, and so we have to pull them before they ever turn. Before they ever get fully sweet, like this, as an example. So that's an eggplant I just saw. That's starting to turn, but then, move this eggplant out of the way, then you can see it starts to rot, and that's completely green. So I don't know, what that's from, but with these bell pepper types, that always happens with us. We've had smaller sweet peppers, and I guess because they're smaller, they can ripen faster. They do a lot better. But these bell peppers have never ripened on the vine for us, or not vine, but the plant. So if you have any tips, please share. That's our Back to Eden Garden update, mid-July. Just thought you might like to see the chickens. Update on the experimental garden. It's basically a bust, except for the sunflowers. So I don't know. I think next year, well, and the cucumbers as well. So I think next year we'll just do sunflowers and cucumbers, because it's just easy way to grow feed for the chickens. There it is. I hope you have a good week. I'll see you next week.